Hey y'all, y'all might can't see me all the way. Whatever. I'm in the dark with the TV on. But I just want everybody to know you probably just hear my voice and that's fine. If you take anything from PetSmart and people are starting to get really bad, get really bad reviews between PetSmart and Petco. However, I will tell you this right here. If you get any advice from PetSmart, trust me, some of the stuff they say is actually true. Some of the stuff they say is not. Not down on them, not none of that. However, when it comes to exotic animals, you might want to reconsider and do some research. If you're not sure about something, I knew I should have ordered mine offline. It cost $70 something. However, the shipping and handling was not really bad. And I would have paid exactly the same amount that I paid for mine as recently. But I didn't pay but $20 for my baby. However, it cost more, not for him, but for me getting all the stuff. So, but it was stuff that wasn't needed. For instance, you can use paper towel at the bottom of the thing. The only problem is you ain't gonna like the constant cleaning it out because I have to keep it. Then if you feed your leopard gecko live animals, like she said, I'm not taking credit all of it. She's absolutely right. They do hide under the paper towels. How I know? Because it has happened. However, what's weird about that is because I didn't have two hides, I only had one. My leopard gecko tended to hide under it. And it was kind of annoying because I didn't really like him under there because I felt like he couldn't breathe under there. And I didn't like the fact that he had to get his food under there and then he pooped on the other side on top of it. So I didn't like that at all. So trust and believe me, I felt like, okay, I'm gonna have to get the carpet, which I did. I got the carpet, just a little humps in the top or whatever. Um, However, when you do the carpet, the poop will add up. Like if you don't feel like changing every day, you're gonna have to do what she did. This lady, she did say this. The best advice she gave was to put some tissue or something in a corner on one side. Cause then you could just get it up and you don't have to, it ain't much to clean. But my gecko sometimes don't have a direct hit when it comes to pooping. And, but I'm trying to get my room to the point, especially where he's at. He actually likes watching TV. I don't know, maybe it's the light or whatever. It's something about the light and the images on the TV. I guess it can make those images out because of the TV. Just a little bit. To the point where it tends to actually sit there and watch that. But I don't think it's just certain things he like watching, he don't like watching. Like I think he's into anime or animation a little bit, but he does not like move. Like if I watch a movie, he might watch it for like maybe a minute or two, and then he's like, I'm not paying this no attention. But every time I put on anime or something, he's sitting there watching it for like 15, 20 minutes. And his head, but just one problem, he don't have nothing to mount on for him to actually look at it. Because I got stuff kind of over that and then he wants to see and he can't really see. I tried to get him to climb this plant that I put in there because it's supposed to be climbable, but unfortunately that's not working. So I have decided that I am going to pay about $20 and get him another hide and get him something he could possibly climb on if he's a climber. But I don't think he's much of a climber. He don't mind mounting on something. So my biggest thing is if I do get him something to climb on or to actually mount on that is big enough for him, it fit his terrarium and then if it's big enough for him to actually see what's going on. Um, That's my other thing. My other thing is actually getting him a heating mat. He has one, but I think I messed it up a little bit. And I still need to ask the girl I asked this lady how did she put the heat mat in without the cord, going through the terrarium? Because she put it in there somehow, and I seen her put it in there, but I'm she say she put one in there, but I didn't see exactly all the way how she get it through there and how she set the mat up. Like, she showed everything else, and I got that right away, but the mat is still a mystery to me, or how she got the wire in there. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a certain way you have to do it. Because the way she got her terrarium is wood on the outside, but there's glass in the inside. And she got glass doors and stuff like that. And the way she got it set up is her room is actually there. She probably has a room exactly specially for her reptiles. So, and I don't. I have just, my room and that little space right there. So, that's what I'm gonna ask her and tell her, hey, this is mine, and then I'm gonna find on Instagram and then put a video up and then put at her name so that way she could talk to me a little bit about it and whatever. But I gotta follow Instagram, so the questions I ask, like, this is this is his terrarium, but he don't have no background, he have nothing. And this, PetSmart told me a few things, and this guy, he has some of his own, and he told me to use a color bulb, and I showed a little color bulb, and I mean, my gecko had no problem with it, but if, I said, this is a really, really dim, and the bulb is about 60, I think it was 67 watts, because the lip metal part that I got for it can't hold up no more than 75 watts in the first place, so I think it's a little less than that. I don't remember, I forgot, but it is less than, it's probably less than 75, or it's at 75, I'm not exactly sure. But I have this gecko, and I tell everybody, if you get an exotic pet, please do research. She said the same thing, so whatever I said to myself or to anybody else that ever wanted one is absolutely right. I even told the people themselves, like, she told me, she pretty much talked about, like, if you have a baby gecko, you could pretty much put them in a little small terrarium, is what they call it, which is a plastic terrarium. And you just get the large one. It ain't got to be real, real big, but just a large one enough for them to move around. Why? Because they're little. They tell me, no, you can't do that. And they won't let you buy the thing until you get a 10-gallon glass tank. So I'm sitting there like, okay. And the lady was trying to get me to buy the $100 one where everything was already in there. And I'm sitting there like, I don't want that, because some stuff, it might not work for my baby. You know what I'm saying? And which it did. She was right. Because common sense will tell you, why the fuck would you put sand in a lizard's tank? Especially if this lizard ain't but so big. Like, yeah, they grow up to about almost a foot. But why would you do that? That's actually common sense. You wouldn't, if you know, just by knowing alligators and certain reptiles, their belly is actually the most softest spot on them when it comes down to reptiles and amphibians and shit. If you've ever dissected a frog or anything, just imagine how easy your knife literally went through the skin. Okay, that's the thing. And you know where their organs at. If you're an animal lover like myself, you know these things because you're not stupid. It's just because you've done your own research on certain animals, and you know for a fact that's definitely a animal lover's common sense. Like, why would you put wooden pebbles in a lizard's terrarium in the first place? Why would you put sand knowing they're going to eat that sand? And it literally will fuck themselves up because their digestive system is definitely different from mammals and amphibians system. That's not coming back out. That's just gonna sit there and then you're gonna have to have surgery to get it out. And you don't want that type of shit. So that's why you take care of your pet the way they're supposed to be taken care of. Now, don't get me wrong, I want to work for PetSmart, but see, I'm too smart for them. Because if I worked at PetSmart and them people ask me, I got a leopard gecko. I tell them off gate I did my own research, and I will tell you. I said I will go to the cash register and ring that shit up myself if you need me to. Because you just need, I said, do you have the money to get all this right now? They tell me no. I said, you know what? Get him this thing right here. This real big one right here. He ain't nothing but a baby. Number one, this gecko ain't nothing but a baby. If you get something bigger, I don't know what's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen, but your best bet is actually get this for the time being. But make sure, that graded is fine. They tell me about the graded or something like that. That's why you have to get the 10-gallon tank. Yes, of course, that is correct. However, it is a baby gecko. It is a baby leopard gecko. Most likely, when it comes to it's not about. It's not about the fact that it's a leopard gecko and it needed a 10-gallon tank. No, it's the fact that at the moment you have a juvenile leopard gecko, meaning they're babies. They're no more than probably 10 months at the most. And they're just babies. Which means they don't need as much room as you think they need. Excuse me. However, if you got money, my thing is your best bet is don't make the mistake I did. First, do your research before you buy them. Me, I guess I took the risk and just bought it, and I forgot to do. I did a little bit of research, but I forgot to do more research. To make sure that I did some right stuff. However, I did a little bit of research, and some of the stuff, I did right or whatever. And I only listen to people who already own certain reptiles, like people who got bearded dragons. Their diet was a little bit different, and I was getting a leopard gecko, and I think the lady got confused. And, talk about fruit diet. When leopard geckos don't, from what I see, and this other lady, she doesn't feed them fruit. She feed the crested or the fancy ones fruits because they eat both fruits and insects. However, the one I have only eats fruit. Only eat insects. Don't eat nothing else. I personally do not feed my gecko live stuff. However, I still put the powder stuff on them. But don't get me wrong, I am reconsidering that and want to get them live because I feel like might be better. But because he's a baby, I've actually not fed them crickets because I feel they're just babies. So I felt like the mealworms might be a little bit easier. If you don't eat the whole thing, you eat at least as much as you can. And because of this factor, because when they first get here, they don't eat, try to get used to it. And as babies, they do eat every day because they're babies. Now, when it comes down to when they get older, they don't have to be fed as much, which is actually true. I found some more research other than her. When they get older, they do not eat as much. They eat maybe once or twice a week. That's about it. They tend to can live without food for a while. However, like any baby, they have to be fed a lot more and every day. So, but you don't know how much they eat every day. In my case, mine don't eat much every day. So every time I come home, sometimes they don't even eat. He doesn't even eat all day. So Um, as of right now, it's eating. It does actually eat everything. It drinks water every day. I change the water bowl every day when I come home from work every night. And I dump out the old food. That's the other thing. If you do feed your electric geckos freeze dried or even live, if they don't eat that at the end, whatever they don't eat, throw it away. Especially because some live ones do die at the end of the day. They don't live very long. Um, your best bet is to throw it away. Remember, they're biodegradable, so when they start decomposing, guess what's gonna happen? Either they turn into beetles or they're gonna just die. Whichever way. Either way, insects have their own ability to survive in this situation. However, they are farm raised insects, so it's a potential chance they won't live very long. However, nature is fine. They're fine. It's everything on there is biodegradable. You're fine when you throw them away. Um, However, when you get your geckos, anything like for instance, if you get a gecko, do research on that gecko. Make sure you know what kind of gecko you get. If you get a leopard gecko, do research on that particular one. How to determine the sex. What do they eat? What kind of stuff they eat? All that. And don't use Wikipedia for the love of humanity, to use Wikipedia because it's gonna tell you some shit. And it might be shitty information. So, excuse my language, but it's the truth. I will start posting stuff up, and like I said, I will try to find her on Instagram or try to look up her Instagram page and kind of do an Instagram post and then at her to ask her a question, and then she'll notice and she'll look and she'll say whatever I'm doing wrong or whatever the case, because I love my pet, by the way, because I take good care of him. He's still a baby. I don't know if it's a girl or a boy, and hopefully it's a boy, because like I said it's one of my Instagram posts, I don't want them type of problems with the girl. I just don't. But if it's a girl, then I already know what to expect just a little bit. So I have to expect it. However, I am thinking about getting the Eco Earth when it gets when it does get pretty big. I don't want to get it now because it's still a baby. It's a potential chance, you know what I'm saying, it might eat that too. Because it's curious about a whole bunch of stuff. So I don't want to eat that. I want to be alright. And yeah, the carpet's just like any carpet, you know what I'm saying. That's why right now I'm not really feeding my pet lab food because of what's in the tank. I don't have enough stuff in there. For instance, I don't have enough to hide when you're supposed to have at least 2 in there. And I am going to get him another one. I have already planned some of the stuff I've already planned on doing. I'm going to actually get him a heat mat. Something told me to actually just I actually have one, but it's 5 watts. And I think she put in there it'd be like 7 watts. And they told me, no, that's not enough. When I should have just listened to my gut that said that heat mat was fine. However, I have to figure out how to set up the heat mat and how I can actually get it to the point where it feels the heat mat. She puts it in there with stuff on top of it. So my thing is, how she do that with the cord. That's my question. Like, how did you set that up? And how did you, because I paid attention. It's just, that what kind of threw me off. Like, when you put the heat mat in there, remember, you still got to plug it up. How did you plug it up? Because, and I said, what do you recommend with me not having my terrarium against the wall like that? I have to do mine a certain way. And I have to show her how my cords are set up. all of that, and I can't get, like, my room is kind of different. I have a situation, but at the same time, she might recommend a few things, how to set it up, and I could just tell her what I'm thinking about doing, but please, when you get exotic animals, please do your own research before you buy them. And matter of fact, before you buy anything for them. Like, if you know the basic stuff of what the animal eats and how they live, then you're straight. However, when it comes down to getting them a living habitat, for instance, like reptiles, some don't need no damn lamp. Like, my gecko didn't really need a lamp. However, it is useful at this point in time, as in for making sure it gets heat, and that's all it really needs. However, I am thinking about putting a heat lamp, and I'm actually going to leave the way I got my terrarium now the way it is, because it does poop on one side, and I gotta set it up where it poops on the heat side. The side for the heat part, it poops on that side. So I'm gonna try to find a hide where I'm gonna make it in a quarter, and where when it can poop on the other side. But I'm actually gonna do something that she suggested to see how it works. By put like paper towel or tissue on one side where it poops. And I'm trying to get him to trust my hand going down in there. But like she said, me putting it down in there, I was thinking the same thing. That's probably why he doesn't like that too well, because my hand going down there like a snake or something about to eat it. That's a predator move. And it's not really liking that. That's why I can't trust my hand. However, when I put something sweet on my hand, or my hand smells like food, my gecko's fat, by the way, he literally would trust me there. Like, he'd get on my head and everything and just sit there and climb on my head and like, hey, and looks at me. But if I don't have nothing on my hand, or my hand smells like chemicals like Dow soap or hand sanitizer, he tends to be like, no, I want your hand, you scaring me, type deal. So I realized that just a little bit. When he smells it, he's fine. He'll climb all over it. But if it don't, it got to have a certain scent for him to climb on my head. So I've come to that conclusion. However, I still want the terrarium with the doors in the front, because me consistently taking the top off to do what I gotta do in there, it scares the crap out of, especially because the lamp is on the top, but it's glide against the thing. It's literally putting them on edge and stressing them out. And I'm trying to now quit being a baby and try to baby him up, because it's not helping, because right now he's still on edge, and I need to leave him alone less as possible. He'll gradually be like, okay, I miss you. Can you come here, please? Type of deal. So, this is a long video. As always, all my videos are long. So, if you get to the end right now, whatever. Peace. I got to go.